Hi, this is math for real people. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to do simple interest rates, and then we'll talk about how to find your total amount you're going to accumulate when you're given the principal and interest and how much it's compounded. So there's two formulas I want to show you how to use, and then you can help that to apply to other formulas that you find or know someone else is using. So that's what we're going to do, get you comfortable with using the formulas. So looking right here on your screen, you will see that the simple interest rate is going to be the principal amount times the time, and the interest is that. What is the R going to stand for? Yeah, your educated guess would say that your R is going to stand for the rate of interest. So let's say the interest rate is 5%. Now I'm writing this out first because when you plug this in, you're not going to use the 5, you're going to change it to a decimal. So think about that. Hopefully you're good with decimals. Yes. So you want to find your interest rate. Let's say you're going to have the principal amount be $1,000. So your P is going to equal $1,000. You have $1,000 to invest. And your time, you're going to make sure you leave it there for 5 years. So we're going to do, it's every year you get 5% interest rate. And then our R is not going to be 5, it's going to be 0.05. So PTR, those are the things we need to find our interest rate in the end. So we have I equals P times T times R. So you get out your beautiful calculator, as I know you all, hopefully, have with you, and you do 1,000 times 5 times 0.05, because 5% you move that decimal over twice. And that's going to give you $250. So is it a good investment to put $1,000 away for 5 years at 5% interest rate? Well, check that out. See if you want to not be able to get to $1,000, but you're getting $250 for doing nothing. Also, if you owe somebody 5% each year, that's going to accumulate to $250 if you don't pay that off for 5 years. Now, this is just very basic. It gets more complicated, but you get the idea. Now let's look at this formula. So if you are looking to see how much you will have total, so if you look right here in the end, after you start with a principal, a starting amount, with a certain interest rate, and it compounded, so if it's compounded annually, that's 1 time. If it's compounded quarterly, that's 4. So that's what it'll say. If compounded monthly, that would be 12. And this is time in years, T. Usually it's in years. So just to keep that in mind. So now let's talk about plugging things in. So I don't know my end amount usually. And if you did, you could plug it in and use your algebra that you know how to solve for. If not, let's just look at this one and say that we're going to be given a starting value. So let's say our principal amount is $5,000. And let's say our interest rate, let's talk about a credit card or something where they say 22%. Ugh. And let's say our number of times compounded, let's say quarterly. Now remember, quarterly will mean 4 times a year. It's compounded quarterly. I don't know if this is anything specific, but you get the idea. And this is going to be 10 years. So this is as if you did not make a payment on it for 10 years, how much $5,000 could accumulate to if you're owing on a credit card for this much. So you're plugging it into this formula right here. So look at these numbers, look at where you need to plug them in, and I'm going to do that right here. And so we start with the 5,000 and the 1 plus the R. So 22% turns into 0.22. You move that decimal over 2 places. N is that 4. and then you close your parenthesis, and you have 4 times 10. So think about what I did. Rerun this video if you don't understand. I'm plugging in all of these into this. And when I work that out, remember you do parentheses first, then exponents, then your multiplication. So once you work it all the way out in your calculator, my handy dandy calculator, you can literally just put it in. I don't know if you can see that very well. Whatever, because you're just plugging it straight in. Your calculator should be doing the order of operations and dividing first. But basically, if you did not make one payment and it was compounded quarterly at 22%, this is what would happen. $42,566.54. Now that would be nice if you made that. If you made 22% on an investment for 5 years or for 10 years without doing anything from $5,000, that would be nice. So good luck. Thank you.